This is going to be a very brief chair resistance workout. So all of the exercises can be performed in the chair. Again, each exercise will be performed for 30 seconds and then a break for 30 seconds. And just work at your own pace. If you can't do the full 30 seconds, that's okay. The exercises can be done both with and without weights, but I would recommend starting without weights at the start and building up towards using weights going forward.
This exercise is called the sit to stand, and it's a really useful exercise for everyday life because the sit to stand movement is used so often in your daily activities, like standing up out of the chair and even bending down to pick something up. So what we're going to start with is with your feet shoulder width apart, sitting in a sturdy chair, and the easiest version is with your hands on the arms of the chair. We're just going to slowly stand up and stand up nice and tall at the top, and then slowly sit back down. So it's really important to do this exercise slowly so that you get the most benefit out of the exercise. And if you can count to 3 on the way up and 3 on the way down. So another progression from the exercise is to cross your arms over your chest, but I would only do this when you're quite comfortable with doing the exercise with your hands on the arms of the chair first. So one thing to avoid is collapsing back down into a sitting position. So you really want to resist that and sit down as slowly as you can to get the most strength benefits out of the exercise. This exercise is called the seated hip march, and it's a really good strengthening exercise for our hip flexors, which are at the top and at the front of our leg. And the hip flexors are really important for everyday activities like walking. So to start the exercise, we're just going to activate our core. So we're going to squeeze the muscles in our stomach and push out into our waistband. So you should feel pressure in your stomach and as if your stomach muscles feel tight. Then what we're going to do is slowly lift one leg up as high as is comfortable, and then bring the leg back down. And then we're going to go over to the other leg, lift up and back down. So we're alternating the legs. It's also really important to go slowly, so 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down, if you can count that. And when this exercise becomes too easy, you can start by adding light weights. So you're just going to rest them on top of your legs, and it should make it a little bit harder to lift your legs. So as always, just start with really light weights and slowly build it up as you feel comfortable. This exercise is called the seated calf raise, and like its name, it's really good for strengthening the muscles in your calves, which are really important for everyday activities like walking. So we're going to start on one leg first, and we're just going to lift up our heel as high as we can, while still remembering to keep our toes and the balls of our feet on the floor. So we're alternating legs. We're doing one leg first and then the other leg. And it's really important to just go slowly on this exercise. So if you can count to 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down, it will help you get the most strength benefits out of the exercise. So when you're very comfortable with doing this exercise and it starts to feel easy, you can progress it by adding some small weights and just leave them rest just above the knee. And you're just going to repeat the same movement by lifting one heel and then lifting the other heel. So as I said, start by adding very small weights and then building them up over time as you get more comfortable with the weights. This exercise is called a seated leg extension, and it's a really good exercise for strengthening our quads muscles, which are a big group of muscles at the front of our leg. And the quads muscles are really important for everyday activities like walking, running, and things like bending down to the floor to pick something up or standing up out of a chair. So we're going to start by activating our core and sitting up nice and straight. So squeeze the muscles in your stomach and push out into your waistband. And then what you're going to do is slowly straighten one of your knees as much as you can, and then come back down and then over to the other leg. So we're alternating one leg and then the other leg. It's really important to go slowly during this exercise. So count to 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down. And you should feel as if your quad muscles or the muscles in your front of your leg are working. When this exercise starts to get too easy, you can progress by adding something like a small ankle weight. And as with all the other exercises, start by adding a very small weight that you feel comfortable with and build it up as it starts to get easier. This exercise is called the seated heel slide, and it's a really great exercise for strengthening our hamstrings. And our hamstrings are a really big muscle group at the top and at the back of our legs. and the hamstrings are needed in everyday activity in things like walking and running. So what we're going to do is start on one leg, and we're just going to straighten out our knee and then bring it back in. And it's really important to keep your entire foot on the floor during this exercise. So imagine as if your foot is stuck to the floor on something sticky, and you have to move through it. So it's really important to do this exercise nice and slowly. So 3 seconds out and 3 seconds back in. And we're alternating. So we're going one leg first and then the other leg and back again.